Yeah, this looks rough. How you doing? Just got all my jerkbaits, kind of organized by color. Dude, there's like 6 of them behind us. Yeah. All right, we have made it to the icy ramp. It is a balmy 31 degrees, but it's sunny. And we are going to hit the river. We got to do a small little portage through this short creek before we hit the main river, but we're going to see you guys on the water. Just straight up hit the ice there. All right, so we're on the water here and the ice is melting. Gotta be careful because some of those stalactites will kill you. Right? I want to go check that out. Yeah, when we get out here, we definitely want to go left. That was the game plan. So this has got some push to it.
I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Yeah, this looks rough. I need my 300. All right.
I'm running out of steam.
Like
I'm at 95%.
yeah. Because I don't know how much more of this, like we couldn't do this sustained for an hour.
No.
This looks rough. I don't know if we can get up this. I mean, even when we get down here. I was gonna go to the left. He's probably gonna come down this far right side. How you doing?
Are they biting?
Not yet. Sounds like it. Well, better fish this before it gets blown out. Dude, there's like 6 of them behind us.
Really?
Yeah. Do you think that they pivoted to this ramp?
Really hate for you to fall in today.
Yeah. It's like everyone's, I don't know if they're fishing or what. Yeah. Dude, I looked at it. He didn't have any lockers. It's completely empty. Yeah. Is that a fish?
Yeah.
Huh. It's a good sign. Dude, I don't care if we catch dinks.
Surprised he got off.
13 feet right here. Maybe we milk this. This looks pretty juicy.
I got a fish on.
Seems like a good one. Yeah,
That's a good fish.
oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, there you go. That's bigger than you realize, I think. It's like a 16, 17. There you go. I was gonna say, I see some fish on the thing.
Fish. Very golden. Look how gold he is.
Yeah, he looks like a mean mouth. Oh my god, he's barely hooked. Oh, I just got a mondo. course we have a jack. He's not as big as I thought he was. He's not as big as I thought he was. He's real thick. I think yours is bigger. Yeah, he's not a bad one, but definitely not as big as I initially thought. And big old winner in Missouri. I pulled him up a bit and I was like, oh, that's like a Mondo. And then I looked at him like, wait, I think I haven't caught a fish in a while. There we go. Nope. On the tube. Same spot as that other one. Dude, that was a no doubter on that one. Pretty little smallmouth. There we go.
I'm about to walk up there and check out that little cave now.
Really?
Curious what it is.
You look in there and there's just a Yeti. Well, this is clearly like a hiking path.
Yeah, I mean that's the markers of state park. So.
What's just going?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You have any luck?
Yeah, we caught him.
Huh?
We caught some.
Nice.
There's a lot of jet boats up there though. Look at how many boats are here. 2 of them just left. 7 total boats. Plus 2 that went up for her. So that's a wrap on yet another winter trip. This time was a little bit more successful, but I've actually got something for us to end this video. And then we're gonna end with a little office tour because we made some changes to the office, or tackle wall, tackle cave, whatever you wanna call it. But today we are going to take a look at the Megabass 2025 Lucky Box. And I was lucky enough to, no pun intended, pick up one of these, and mine came in green. So yeah, I got green. There was like 3 or 4 different, I think there was 4 colors you could get: green, yellow, silver, and red. And I got green. So we're gonna crack this bad boy open. And I've already pulled out one of the things you get in it, which is this lure stand, which is kind of nice for showing off your lures. You can put any of your Vision 110s on it, but you can also put bigger stuff on there, like this Tiny Clash. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what we got, and then we'll do a quick little office tour. So Megabass does these every so often. They tend to stick to the themes of like whatever the Chinese New Year is, and in this one it was the Year of the Snake. So this is the Dog X that comes in there. There's 4 different colors. We got the pure snake pattern in there. As you can see, Year of the Snake, obviously snake pattern, Dog X. Abalone Bright Pop X, which is the small one. This is actually a super underrated popper on the river, just the little tiny ones, but that's a cool color on that one too, kind of more of a green. But now it's time for the star of the show that's in here, and that is the Vision 110 SR, which if you're not familiar with this is not released yet. They're only in these Lucky Boxes. This is the shallow running version of the Vision 110. So this only dives down to about 1 meter. And one big change they've made on this is the hooks. Look at that. It's not your typical hooks. Those are almost like Gamakatsu wide gap nano style hooks. They have a very slick coating on there. So it's an interesting decision to change the hook styles on these because, you know, I personally swap out most of my hooks. I'll use the stock sometimes on the junior until they bend out, and then I typically do swap them out. But to see this being stock is an interesting thing because one of my big complaints about some of the hooks on Megabass have always been that they bend out and break off really easy. So not a lot in this box. They retail for $150 on these Megabass Lucky Boxes, which is pretty steep considering you're basically only getting 3 baits, but you are getting this made in Japan Megabass branded tackle box, which I think if you're a collector, it makes a lot of sense. But if you're just a normal person who doesn't really get involved in the color crazes of Megabass, it probably does not make a lot of sense. But yeah, this is called SEIU, which is the color that comes in there. Pretty cool color, not really anything that's gonna break the mold, but it's got some good sheen to it. I would love to use this. I'm actually kind of tempted to maybe throw it, even though it is a special edition color. So we're going to do a really quick tour of this. I'm going to talk about some of these baits that we used on this trip because it was very interesting tweaks. So the way I've got this set up is I ended up installing some garage style pegboard. So this is actually aluminum behind this workbench here so that I could have a spot to kind of do some maintenance on my reels, work a little bit on just if I needed to change hooks out, which we're going to do on this. And just a spot to have some of my rods and reels inside. So I shifted everything over, you know, I do all my work over there. I shifted all my like tackle stuff over to this side of the rod into a still work in progress style desk. And I know before I even do it, a lot of people are going to request to see my entire collection. I think that could be a different video because this is not all of them, unfortunately. But we have a workbench here. I kind of got my reels here. We're going through maintenance on a lot of these because it is winter, so I don't have my full arsenal out. But I've shifted all that over here. I'm actually going to put in another little rod rack here that'll allow me to store a lot of rods on the inside here. But yeah, that's kind of what we've got going here. You can see I've got all those kinds of fun baits in here. Some Asakana slides, mag drafts, citizens, the trick shad. And then I just got all my jerk baits kind of organized by color. There's some that are, you know, if they're similar, I kind of just hung them on there because I don't want to have a bunch. But you can see I've got some of the newer ones here. It's one of the new ones. This is one of my favorite new ones right there. What do they call that? I don't know. Someone put a sticker over the name, but yeah, that's the collection. So let's talk a little bit about these. So yeah, this trip was definitely different. You know, we keep doing these trips where we only catch a handful of fish, and I think between me and Ryan, we each caught 3 or 4 apiece. It was a pretty stingy day, but if you could tell, there was a lot of jet boat traffic. So there was a lot of factors playing in. They had a tournament that was 30 miles downriver, and a lot of those guys ran up. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of things we threw. You know, we talked about this in a few videos. I threw this. I caught one tiny dink on it off camera. Wasn't even really hooked. He was just like on the top of his head. So this was not really a player for me. I think the water is still a little cold for something like that. I think in the spring, as that water warms up, that thing's going to be killer. With the 2 baits that worked, this was the MVP, as usual. You can tell I'm a little biased. I did blow out the back hook on that, so we're actually going to swap it out, and I've got, you know, the tools to do that, and I've gotten, what I do is I typically change them out with different sorts of, I use the Gamakatsu 8s on these for the juniors. For the big ones, you use the Nano 5s and 6s. You could even use 4 if you want it to sink a little bit, but we blew out one of those hooks, so we're gonna have to do some CPR on one of these bad boys to get it back in fighting strength. But another honorable mention is the tube. So in the previous video where I was doing the giveaway on the Deeper Pro, which ended, by the way, and the winner of that giveaway is pinned on that video, I rigged this so that it had the weight coming, or the hook coming out like that. So like the hook weight was inside and it was exposed. I was having a lot of issues with that. So one of the changes that I made was I switched to this small finesse EWG weedless head, and I caught 2 fish on this yesterday, so didn't blow the doors off the world with it, but I have found that in certain scenarios when you're fishing around a lot of like wood, especially when you've been having a lot of snow melt, the water's up really high and there's a lot of like limbs and leaves and stuff in the water. I really liked this rig for the finesse TRDs, for the TRD fatties, which you know is one of my signature baits. But this right here is a pretty simple rig. Is you just pull it past that collar and then you just rig it just like that and just tuck it in there like that. So that is the tube rig I've been using, and it kind of gives you that Ned presentation, and you can make it look prettier. I obviously just did this on the fly, but this bad boy right here will get you some bites when nothing else will. So if you're a big fan of the Ned rig, I would highly suggest you try these TRD tubes. I honestly feel like I catch bigger fish on these than I do the Ned rig, which is wild, because I mean it just looks like a little crawdad or something, and you still get that nice death spiral down to the bottom that you get from a tube. So and that's the video, guys. That was the trip. Hope you enjoyed a quick little tour of the office just to kind of see a little bit of the behind the scenes, but I'm sure it'll continue to evolve as this season goes on. But yeah, another tough day on the water, but we're going to run it back. Tomorrow. So this video is going live. I'll be on the water when it's live, out there grinding for some more winter bass. So I'll see you guys out there.
Ooh.
Is that a fish?
Yeah.
Huh.